So, namaste everybody. This is a school located in a town which is located in the center of Madhya Pradesh, which is now getting converted into a polling booth for the ongoing Lok Sabha elections. And we know that the Lok Sabha elections are taking place at various places across the India, and Madhya Pradesh is no exceptions are scheduled for tomorrow, and the arrangements for the same are going on. As you can see, the tents getting erected here. Taking you to the school, this would be the main polling center wherein three polling officers they would be sitting here along with the BLO, that is booth level officer, and would be verifying the election cards, the election ID of the voters, those who are coming here to cast their votes. And here would be made in the corner would be made that particular center where the VVPAT and the EVM machine would be kept, so that the voters can cast their votes and make India the mother of democracy. So election, on the one hand, they actually what they do, they stand for, what do they symbolize? The elections symbolize that India is a vibrant democracy hosting 1.4 billion people, and going on with the elections in a very nice way. But at the same time, what is very confounding, perplexing, and troubling is the pathetic state of school, which is a government run school, obviously, everywhere, literally everywhere, exceptions being some places in Delhi or some other places in South India. This is the general picture of a government run school, as you can see it. Just look at the walls, look at the gates, the doors, the grills, the water. Look at the complaint box. I don't think anybody would put the complaint here, or it is even opened. This look at the outdated infrastructure, pathetic infrastructure, the abysmal upkeep, maintenance of the school. And this is not just about this particular school. No, it is very common to see that government schools in general are not taken care of in a right manner. And why the schools are important, for that matter? Because education is very, very important. It is a basic right of the people, isn't it? Why are the elections important? Elections stand for democracy. Democracy stands for rights. Rights means basic liberty, freedom, justice. Freedom for what? For the self-development, to develop the capabilities. How would you develop the capabilities of the fellow citizens? By imparting them education, at least in the middle and high school. Now, can you imagine that we are able to provide quality education to our students, who are the future of India, in a sufficient way, in a satisfying way? Are we? It's not about the aesthetics. No, I'm not talking about the aesthetics. It's about the basic minimum infrastructure. Do you find it here? No, you won't. Are there separate toilets for the girls and the boys? No, I don't think they are. These are some common issues which I think the privileged section of the society must know. We were privileged. When I compare this school with the school that I went to, oh my god, the picture is very gloomy. Now, the main point that I wanted your attention to come to is how the education system perpetuates inequalities. How does it perpetuate inequalities? Now, a lot of people coming from the lower middle class of the society go to these public schools. Okay. Now, looking at the infrastructure and generalizing this thing, because this can be generalized, can you tell me that a person going to a government school and on the other hand a person going to a English medium school will have the same chances, same opportunities, same capabilities? Will they have? No, they won't have. Because these kind of schools would only prepare the students not to become good doctors, engineers, administrators, pilots, or anything else. They would just prepare the students to become good workers, casual workers. this would perpetuate the inequalities. So the students of the working class of the society would come to these schools. They would acquire very suboptimal, education here, and would again get those same jobs. While the students coming from the elite sections, privileged sections of the society would go to DPS or other schools where they would have all the facilities, be it curricular, extracurricular, good teachers, good benches, good nowadays there is much emphasis on the digitalization, so there are smart classes, incorporation of technology, everything. Now, how would the products of this system of the government run schools compete with the students coming from the elite section of the society acquiring the education in good private schools? How? Now, wouldn't this perpetuate inequalities? Isn't it the reproduction of inequalities, as the French author Perry Bourdieu said? How the state perpetuates inequalities. Is the fund coming to these schools, allocated for these schools, utilized in a fair and judicious manner? These are some paramount questions which we should ask as the awakened citizen of this country. Another pertinent question, since the elections are taking place and this school has been converted into an election booth, at least for this particular day, for a day or two, now this question must come to your mind, that the money that parties together as a whole spend for the elections, what if that money, the money that is spent for the canvassing, for the campaigning, and for wooing the voters, for the freebies and all, what if that money is spent on the schools, on the government run schools? What major social change can it bring in the society? Because we cannot say that we do not have the money. We have the money. It's just about the utilization of the money. It's just about the mobilization of the funds. Even if they are mobilized, they aren't used in a judicious manner. What about the auditing? Just look at the walls. I was reading an article in the Hindu newspaper, and it was basically saying that even the aesthetics of the place where you study, they do matter. They decide your learning capabilities, that how easily would you grasp the things that are being taught to you. And here I'm not talking about aesthetics, I'm just talking about the basic minimum infrastructure. I'm not talking about the incorporation of, what do we call it, projectors, smart classes. I'm just talking about the basic decent level of infrastructure here, which I do not think it would be. Now, what do we make of it is a pertinent question. Maybe these rooms, because they are outdated, they are not that well maintained, because they are outdated. So let me take you to some other classes, the new building. Maybe like this one is no more in the use, maybe, and maybe this one is in the use. Maybe I could enter into it, but I don't think I can, because the doors are closed. Now, this particular classroom is well maintained. And just look at the walls. Just look at the infrastructure. It is comparatively, relatively better, much better. So what we get to know, that change is taking place. Oh my God, change is taking place. That building is no more in use, perhaps it is an outdated building. In the present times, in the contemporary times, the change has taken place, change is taking place, as we can see the signboard saying computer lab. So there are computer lab, there are facilities, there is a sports room out there, Vigyan Kaksh, Pracharya Kaksh, Staff Kaksh. Change is taking place. This is what we can say. Nevertheless, this would remain be the picture in most of the village run schools, government run schools in the villages. Still, the point that I wanted to tell you is the concept of reproduction of inequalities. How do the inequalities they are reproduced? Just beside this school is another private school, which is KDBM school, and just look at the boys if you can see that. I have zoomed it to the full. I wish I could take you to that school and show you the infrastructure so as to present a comparative view in front of you. I wish I could, but I don't think I can. This is like where the inequalities start getting reproduced. We can say that the schools are giving mobility to the students because the students of the people situated in the lower state of the society, for example the casual laborers, the workers, the street vendors, they would come here and study and acquire the education in almost no cost. It's very negligible, and thus they would at least get some mobility, if not the full mobility, as the people of the elite section of the society who are going to the nice schools they would get. These are two views. The first one that I emphasized on when I was in that building was the leftist view, and this one, when what I emphasized when I came to this school, was the rightist view, or we can say that was the conflict view, wherein the people who revere Marx or who draw their ideology from Marx or Marxist ideology, they think about what they think about, that things are not good, things are bad, abysmal, pathetic. Now taking you to this view, which is actually the view of the right, of the conservative people, and it's sociologically speaking view of the functionalists, those who think that everything is just working fine in the society, everything is just serving some function, and there is the good side, the brighter side, which the left doesn't want to focus on. Now this is the reflection of this side of political, what we can say, tussle. So at the end, what I make of it is we should not form our opinions looking at just one side of the picture, which is this side. We should look at the holistic picture, right? Things are bad, things are not equal, things cannot be equal, but if we are working in that direction, if we are doing our best, trying our best, if the government is doing good, if the civil society is doing good, then of course things can reform, things can change for something good, and this is what it is. I wish if the door was open, I can take you inside, I can walk you through the rooms, labs, sports room, music room and all, and can show you now how good it is. Of course we cannot place it in the same situation as a school with the fees of 50,000 or even 1 lakh, offers. We cannot offer the same facilities, but if we can provide the basic minimum facilities that I was wishing for there, then it is amazing, and it is happening, it is in front of you. So the change is taking place, and this video is not like sponsoring, supporting, and is not taking the side of the current establishment that look, the government is doing so fine, so amazing. No, this is just to show you that do not judge things quickly, easily. Just look at the other side of the picture. Coin has two sides. It is up to you to open your eyes, to open your ears to both sides, and then make your decision. In the end, cast your vote. It is very important. Like who to cast it for. Cast it for the development, for the culture, for the truth, for the peace, for the betterment, for the vikas, and for the nation, for the Bharat. That is it. Signing off. Garvit Jain. Bye. Jai Hind.